All right, so this is the Sunsplash Mix Show. I am Ja Prince,
And I'm Selecta Princess.
and that is Joel
Joe.
from
Kia ora,
L.A.B.
everybody. How's it going?
Lab. Yeah.
Welcome to the Sunsplash Mix. Now, we promote reggae music and just good music basically around the world. For those who are trying to network and get their product out there, you and your band are now working on the fifth album in 5 years.
Bye.
So, who is the Lab, the L.A.B.?
Yeah, so we're from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and we've been together now for coming up 6 years, and man, we're having a lot of fun. We've been writing music. We write music all the time, and we record. We go down to a place called Wellington, which is the capital city of New Zealand. We fly down there and we record our music. We've been going hard for like the last 5 years, and uh, so stoked to have our fifth album in the bag, which is just about to get released in 2 weeks. So we just released the first single off that album 2 days ago in New Zealand, and this response has been amazing. So yeah, we're looking forward to a really good summer here of lots of shows and um, stuff like that. But yeah, LAB's been going hard for a long time, and we've been lucky enough to play some really big shows in New Zealand. We did a really big headline show last year in Auckland in front of 17,000 people. That was our biggest show, so it was really special. So yeah,
The music speaks for itself. First of all, I would like to know what LAB stands for and introduce the members in the band, please.
yeah, for sure. So LAB stands for well, it's kind of adopted a different acronym now, but it used to be for the original members of the band. But now we've decided that it's like the musical laboratory. It's kind of what we've decided
Ah,
to keep it as. We couldn't change the name to Jab because my name's Joel, and it's like you can't say Jab, especially in today's day and age with
yeah.
vaccinations. So, um, so yeah, we just kept it LAB, and we've got five members in the band. Myself on guitar, lead guitar and lead vocal. Me Huddle Gregory is our piano player and singer, beautiful piano player. Stu Corder is our other piano player and guitarist. He also sings. Um, Ada Adams Tamatia is our bass player. He's really enriched in the reggae culture too because he played with the band. I don't know if you guys have heard of Catch a Fire. Um,
Yes.
he was the original bass player for Catch a Fire for about 10 years. So we're really lucky to have him in the band. And then our band leader and producer songwriter is the drummer Brad Corder. Incredible drummer, incredible songwriter. Um, so yeah, that's the core members of the band. When we go on tour, we take about another 6 or 7 members. We have a four-piece string section that play with us, four violins.
Wow.
We've got two backing vocalists,
That's
a saxophone player who comes out and plays a few songs,
right.
and we're about to introduce a percussion player this summer, which is going to be fun too. So we're always trying to add those elements, especially as the band goes along. It keeps it fresh for us as the five members, but as you know, in the studio, you can really layer things up. So it's nice to have those extra members come in when you're playing live to add those different colors.
I like that. I like that. Let's talk about playing live, like you said, and having a band that's kind of morphing over the years, which is actually a good thing to be able to experiment. So every other month, when you're not on tour and you're not doing big festivals, are you guys still like just, hey, we're just gigging, we're just down at the pub, we're just trying to, mess around with new sounds? Is that still something that you're doing, even though you're on your fifth album?
Yeah, we don't play in pubs anymore, but that's where we started for sure. That's how LAB started out playing in, small shows around the place, and we're lucky enough to have the four of us that started the band live quite closely. So me Huddle lives in Wellington, which is about 6 hours away. So he flies up, and we quite often go to just up the coast a little bit to a place called Whakatane. And we jam for like 2 or 3 days in a row. We've got our own little studio set up there, like a rehearsal space. And that's where we do a lot of our creating and woodshedding.
I like it. I like it. For those who don't know, like you said, there's a lot of bands in New Zealand. But again, they're going to say, well, man, these guys aren't like the reggae bands that are in Hawaii or, like, on the west coast of United States. There's a lot of bands. You guys are really known through our network. A lot of people have been telling us about you guys. Again, how important is it that it's, hey, we only play the music that's right in our album. We only play our cuts. We don't freestyle and we don't like do those things. How is a performance from the L.A.B?
Yeah, I mean, when we play live, we and even with our songwriting, we're not like exclusive to just playing reggae, and I think that's what's kind of special about the band. And one of our biggest songs that kind of took the band to the next level in New Zealand was a song called "In the Air," and it's kind of reminiscent of like 70s, Steely Dan, Fleetwood Mac style, that kind of feel. So I think reggae is definitely, it's definitely our thing, but we love playing. I mean, even on our third album, we've got a heavy metal song right at the end, like a heavy rock song that's influenced by like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So, yeah, and I think that's, on the next album coming out, we've got a country song, which is like completely left field, but it still sounds like L.A.B. It still sounds like us, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to be diverse. It's nice to have the freedom to create.
Absolutely, yeah, and there are so many different influences in the band in regards to styles, like even electronic elements, with some of the boys, and Ada, our bass player, he's right into hip hop and R&B. So I'm into lots of blues. Like American music is how I grew up listening to B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan as a guitarist. Just all that good stuff. So yeah, no, it's fun, man.
We're talking about past and present, is what I'm hearing from the different artists that you've mentioned. I'm interested to know the places that you've traveled to and would like to go to in the future on tour.
Yeah, for sure. We've the only place we've played internationally is Australia. And our last time we were there was 2019. Actually, maybe 2018. I can't remember. It was before the pandemic, anyway.
Okay.
And yeah, so we haven't really toured internationally for 2 years, but we're itching to get overseas. We can't wait.
Oh, I bet.
And obviously the States is definitely, even Hawaii, like you guys are saying, and on the West Coast there is definitely a place where we're trying to solidify something, and also in Europe and the UK as well. But that's where we'd love to tour, definitely. I mean, and it's really hard, it costs a lot of money to tour overseas, especially coming from little old New Zealand right at the bottom of the world. So we kind of have to be careful how we, what one we choose. But I think at the moment it's looking like America. Yeah, it's looking like the States. So that'd be cool. We have to come see you guys.
Oh,
that's what I'm
saying. Love it. Yes.
But we'll pull a couple strings, But the festival touring is definitely right in your lane.
Yeah.
To not be boxed in like, oh no, they're on the reggae night, with the reggae. Nah, you can put this band practically anywhere on a lineup. So for those who don't know, sometimes it's not just the song, but Mr. Reggae is a very good melodic song. I just gotta let you know that. And some of those things are kind of missing, we think, even here on our hardcore reggae market, hardcore dancehall market. What's that buildup? Who gets the credit for saying, you know what, we want an easy vibe for Mr. Reggae?
Yeah, so that song is actually it's a cover. It's a song from Hawaii from a band called the Carl Crater Boys. I don't know if you've heard of them, but it's like a ukulele style, kind of like the guy that did Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That it's in that vein of reggae style, that Hawaiian thing, and it's a song that the two Cora brothers in the band, Stu and Brad, have been playing for the last 10, 15 years with their previous bands. And we decided, and we should record this. It's a song that we keep playing every time we do a show. We always have a few beers afterwards, and we always get the guitars out and we start playing more music. It's just what you do, right? And it's the one song that always comes up. We always keep playing it. I hear music. We've got to record this song, man. So it's, I guess we definitely messed with the structure of it and the arrangement, and adding in one of the elements, like I said, was the ukulele, but we decided to put in like Spanish guitar, like nylon strings. So that's me playing the nylon, and then having that kind of more jazz influence as well with the keys and that. So it's just those elements that Brad, as the producer, he comes in with these incredible, like all those little percussion things and little hits and vocal dubs and stuff like that. It just adds all that flavor.
I love it. Nowadays, we know that bands need to be on social media, and you got to be selling merch and stickers and little, shot glasses and hats. How do you feel? Are you guys sociable? People can come up, they're in your DMs, your interaction with fans. It's good, right?
Oh, so good, man. And we love, I think we're kind of grassroots kind of people. We don't see ourselves higher than anybody else, regardless of the success of the band. If anything, that makes me want to do more stuff in the community and more things for people. It's and as a band, we thrive on, like, for example, a couple of days ago, somebody reached out about a family member who was quite sick, and they really loved L.A.B, and they wanted L.A.B to dedicate a song to their father.
Nice.
And we're like, oh, that sounds cool, But we took it a step further, and this guy was a singer. This guy, and one of the last songs he sung live, he sounds like he's pretty sick, So one of the last songs he sung live was an L.A.B song called "Love of Jane," and they said, "Oh, we're coming to your concert in about 2 months. Is there any chance you could dedicate the song to our dad?" We're like, "Yeah, of course we can. Why don't we get him on stage and he can sing it with us?" So it's like, of course, man, and he's a great singer, So let's make it happen. Yeah, and we're always doing shout outs and that, and I think in the world of social media and today, like, the connection between the pop star or the big band and the big, the connection between them and the audience has become so much closer.
Yeah.
You used to be able to be,
isolated.
Yeah. But now you're so accessible, which is good and bad. But in regards to your fans, I think it means the world to your fans if you can reach out and personally, talk to them.
Definitely. And since you're on your 5th album, what's the concept behind album 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, I think we never wanted to name our albums, and we've been brought up in the era of bands that were releasing sometimes two albums a year. Like you look at bands like, I don't know, the Beatles, Earth, Wind and Fire, Bob Marley. I mean, he's got so many albums.
So many.
And we wanted to be an album band. We never wanted to be a band that just wrote singles and released singles. So I think that's something that we solidified at the start. And as time went on, like, we've evolved and we've definitely found our sound and found a chemistry that's working. But it didn't happen straight away. Like, the first album was definitely, there's always growing pains when you're working with new people, and there's different influences, and but it didn't happen straight away. Like, the first album was definitely, there's always growing pains when you're working with new people, and there's different influences, 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 and I think that, you know, if I listen to album 1 and I listen to album 5, I can still hear the same band. I can still hear the same energy. But we've definitely evolved. We've definitely changed a few things. We've changed how we write certain things. We've figured out how to capture the lightning in a bottle, kind of, yeah, especially in the studio. Like it's you know, but yeah, I guess the concept behind the releasing, it was originally meant to be 3 albums in 3 years. That was our goal. We wrote it on the back. Yeah. We wrote it on the back of a pizza box. We had pizza one night. And we got a pen out and we started writing these goals. It's like L.A.B. What this is before we had anything, you know.
Right.
What do we want to do? You know, come on, boys, let's write some goals. You know, and that was one of them. Let's do 3 albums in 3 years. We all wanted to, you know, make enough money so we could buy our families a house. You know, everybody have. Yeah. So we're slowly achieving those. Oh, we've blown those goals out the window. To be quite honest, we need to eat some more pizza.
There we go.
Hey, maybe the 6th album will be called Pizza
Slices.
There we go.
Yeah. Grow with you, evolve with you.
Now they're gonna have a signature pizza, you know, a New Zealand special, you know, ingredient.
The Pizza Diaries.
Yeah.
I like it. And
incredible.
Every year, like you said, even individual artists, but specifically a band, there's something that's called leveling up. So when we were speaking to Protege and his producer Winterfresh, they would go to different studios. They would see different techniques, different microphones, different ways to record. Is there something that you would like to share, maybe with another band, that, hey guys, this is what this last album, we're not telling you the secrets, but make sure you buy this, or make sure, you know, you guys think about that. Is there something technological wise or a way to record that you think other bands, live bands, should really, you know, benefit from?
Yeah. I guess something that's worked for L.A.B. is like, we've always gone down the more analog route of recording. You know, we try to use, for example, with the drum kit, Brad uses like a 1970s Ludwig drum kit. And it sounds like, you know, it doesn't sound like crap, but when you play it in the studio, it just sounds like, you know, the snares are dead and the toms have got like, you know, stuff planted on them, so they just sound dead. It sounds like a dead drum kit. But when you record it and you capture the sound, and then it's how it sounds in the mix. It's kind of that whole idea of like, by itself it sounds like crap, but when you put it together with other things, it sounds great. The same with the guitar, you know, like some of the guitar stuff we do, we make sure we use like old school valve amps, Fenders, and we just get that really warm tone. You know, we don't want to use like multi effects and stuff like that. You know, the microphone that I use for recordings an old Sony. It's again like a really old microphone. Sometimes it breaks and we have to get like a newer one in, and like a Shure SM7 or something like that. But we like using really old gear, and sometimes we put the songs to tape. So you record it, you know, digitally,
2-inch tape,
you know, Pro Tools or whatever, and then you record it back into 2-inch tape. Yeah, and sometimes we only do that with the drums. Like we just want the drums to sound like that. But I guess like for recording as a band, you know, we try and get at least 3 of us, like drums, bass, and one guitar, at least one guitar, recording the core of the track, you know, and then we start layering up, you know, like a keyboard skank and then another guitar following the bass line. You know what I mean? So we try to I don't want to give away too many secrets, but you know, that's but you know, it's just trying to capture the live energy of the band. We really thrive on that, and I believe that's what people were feeling when they listen to our music, is they can feel it's a band in a room playing. When you know, my example for that is bands like AC/DC and Rage Against the Machine. I mean, they're not reggae bands. Even Bob Marley and the Wailers is another great example. But you know, you listen to Rage Against the Machine, and it's lightning in a bottle. It's just like, man, that's pure band energy, you know?
Right. And definitely, shout out to all the live engineers that are there. Just like you said, over the years, you guys can perfect the sound that you know that you want. Others may not have the resources and the camaraderie. Sometimes the drummer don't get along with the guitarist, but the finished product is always what everyone is working on. So we salute you guys for 4 solid albums. And in February, Reggae Month, album number 5 will release.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right.
Social media.
Well, we'd like to know how we can get in touch with you on social media, and where is your music available?
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok now. TikTok's the new thing, right? You're gonna be on, everybody's gonna be on TikTok. And obviously Spotify, YouTube. You can buy our music through Bandcamp as well. If you head to Loop, loop.co.nz, you'll be able to buy our vinyls, our merchandise. If you're into buying that kind of stuff, having the physical copies of everything. And that's pretty much where you can get our music. All our next album will be out pretty soon, so that'll be on all of those as well. Yeah.
It's a good look. We thank you for the time. And for those who don't know, yes, we're going to see them on the West Coast, which they call that the Kush Coast, but the West Coast of the United States, where all the live festivals coming from Sierra Nevada, all the way down to Long Beach. So we might get the L.A.B in Long Beach very soon. So thanks for your time, Joel.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's awesome.
And say hello to your other bandmates, too.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right. Love.
1 second.
Sweet.